In this video, I'm going to share my 4 game-changing strategies that help myself and many others ace the UCAT and get into med at the university of their dreams. These 4 strategies will help you whether you're starting out with your preparation or whether you have 2 weeks to go, and can be utilized no matter what difficulties and problems you face. So let's jump straight into it. There's 184 questions in the UCAT. Most people will not be able to finish them when they start, and that is because they do all the questions in order. Do not do all the UCAT questions in order. Use skipping to arrange things that's best for you. Think about the ideal best way to do a test. Ideally, they would arrange it so all the easy questions are at the start. You get them out of the way, get them done, and then you do the hard questions at the end. And if you're struggling with the hard questions, then you can skip them. Or if you have to guess anything, you guess the hard stuff, not the easy stuff. And so we want to take that principle and apply it. And so anything that you see that looks time consuming and difficult, you need to skip to last. I like to leave it blank, but some people will flag it and guess it using the keyboard shortcuts. If you do that though, you have to be lightning quick. There's nothing wrong, I think, with leaving it blank and just going skip, 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 next one. You also need a escape strategy. So when you're doing a question, you don't want to spend too long on it. So after it's been 30 or 40 seconds, you either just pick an answer or just guess and move on. Try not to exceed more than 1.5 times the allocated time per question. So not only will skipping help your timing, but it'll also help your accuracy, because you'll do all the easy questions and in medium difficulty questions, hopefully under time. And then when you get to the hard questions at the end, you'll have more time per question. And so you can relax and slow down a bit, and it's not rushed. Basically, the worst thing that can happen is, let's say you're doing a set of VR, right? And when I did my UCAT, there were 2 giant passages, probably 8+ paragraphs, whereas normal is 3 to 5. So let's say there's questions 1 through 44, right? And you're doing question 8, but then you get this giant text with all this paragraph. Okay, so you spend, you say, okay, let's try and get this done. You do all the questions, and let's say it takes you, 4 minutes. So that takes you 4 minutes, and it's supposed to take you 2 minutes. So now you're 2 minutes behind, and you get to maybe question 20, and you're feeling okay. But now, instead of having 11 minutes left, or which is what you should have, you have 9 minutes left. Now you're trying to do 22 questions in 9 minutes, and so you start rushing. Because you start rushing, you make silly mistakes, and you still can't finish everything, so you end up guessing the last 5 or 6 questions. So that one set has cost you 5 guesses, has cost you more rushing questions, and you attempted the hardest set. So you probably only get 2 or 3 out of 4 maximum. And so that's the issue with doing things in order. Simple thing would have just been to take that set, do it last, bank everything else. And maybe if you do things quick, you have 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes for that set of 4 questions. Now, I'm not 100% against flagging, but my general advice is don't worry about it until you can finish with at least 30 seconds spare. Only times I would consider it is in decision-making, where if you're genuinely stuck between 2 answer options, because decision-making is slightly less time-pressured, and situational judgment, which I think is the least time-pressured. But then again, that doesn't count. So probably not even relevant practicing at this point. So strategy 1 is skipping. Strategy 2 is start at the question, so you only read what's relevant. The reason I outlined what the STEM question and answer was is because people start at the STEM when you should be starting at the question. If you start at the question, you know exactly what you need to. And you can basically start at the question, extract some keywords from it, and then look through the STEM or read the STEM with the intent of knowing what you need to get from it and what words to look out for. Here, I've highlighted quite a long STEM in the maths section, and everything I've highlighted is things that are irrelevant. They're just unnecessary reading. And so if you do read the STEM first, half of what you read is irrelevant to answering the question. The aim is, if you start the question, you'll only extract from the STEM what is relevant to your answer. It's important to try and finish all the questions in the UCAT, but when you start, that's obviously going to be near impossible. I would expect people, when you start, finishing half is a good effort. But don't worry, with practice, that number will gradually decrease. And that's why it's important to measure that in your log, and then you can see that number, trailing down week by week. But believe me, it is possible to finish every subtest with 1 minute to spare. And when you do get to that stage, you'll be in a league where almost you'll basically already be in the top 10% if you get to that stage. Strategy 3, pace yourself within a question. So this is what I explained earlier. If you rush the whole question, you'll make reading errors and you'll miss words and it'll be problematic. Rather, slow down on the very important bits, the things you have to get right. Read the question slowly and carefully because you need to basically be able to memorize that verbatim. But when you're doing calculating, when you're looking for keywords in a big text, go as fast as you can. But on the important things, slow down because if you make a mistake with it, then the whole question's gone. And doing that once slow is better than doing it twice fast and realizing, oh, I didn't get that. Or sort of calculating the wrong thing because you misread one important aspect of the question. So we had skipping, number 1, start at the question so you only read what's relevant, number 2, and pace yourself within a question, number 3. Number 4 is the keyboard shortcuts. And so I think the most important ones are to use Alt-N to move to the next question, a mouse to help you select answer options, although you also have the ability to type in A, B, C, D, E on the keyboard. And that's something to experiment with, whatever's quicker. You also have, if you have a computer with a number pad, which is often the desktop keyboards with the number lock on the side, that will enable you to type in plus minus times divide into the calculator. Whereas on the laptop, you might have to mouse click those, which takes more time. Just remember though, you can type in the numbers onto the calculator. For those of you who want to flag, Alt-F is flag, Alt-P is move back, Alt-C is to bring the calculator up, and Alt-V is to move to the navigator page. On the calculator, backspace will clear it. So if you accidentally are pressing backspace and things are vanishing, that's why. And importantly, when there is 30 or 60 seconds left, if you're in the stage where you're still guessing, make sure you put an answer for everything. Doesn't matter if it's whatever your lucky letter is, but it's just reasonable just to pick the same letter for everything. And generally, if there's 30 seconds left, 30 seconds will not magically change your score. And so it's okay just to use the last minute or so, just to make sure everything has an answer associated with it, because you might still get a quarter of those right. Now, if you're serious about getting a good score, putting in whether it be you have 1 month to go or 1 year to go, it's important with the UCAT to get yourself equipped with the best resources possible, because you need to be in the top 5 to 10%. And to compete against the best and beat the best, you need the best resources. So the first thing you should do is click the link in the description. This will give you access to my inner circle where I provide exclusive resources. The first of these is free PDFs. Every week will send out a free PDF covering some of my best strategies in each section. And so these include things like question types and key factors that you can consider. Again, the form takes probably 30 seconds to fill out. It's completely free and you can opt out if you change your mind at any stage. But this is what everyone should be doing and sharing with their friends. Additionally, by clicking out the link in the description, we can have a free one-on-one call where I give you my approach to practicing the UCAT and give you some advice and some free mentorship on how you can do well with this test and what it's like once you're in med. Furthermore, subscribe to the channel. There are plenty of UCAT videos that go out. I generally put out one every week, and I'm aiming for this to be the biggest area of free UCAT resources available with videos, PDFs, and free course. All of that is free. All of that's completely, there's no lock-ins. You can change your mind at any stage. And so why not get your hands on these resources that have helped me and others get into med? Please do me a favor and share this with others if you found it helpful, and stay tuned for more videos on this channel. Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you next time.